What's up, YouTube? This your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I will go over my WWE Survivor Series War Games review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere a brand new video at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, or when I go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And let's talk about WWE Survivor Series War Games. Now, WWE Survivor Series War Games was an A show, and I give it a 7 out of 10. So we go right into the show. Then, now, forever. A video package hyping up the matches kicks off the show. So we get a women's War Games match. Um, so we got team. Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch versus Team Bayley. Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. This was a good match, but the faction itself with Damage Control needs to be broken up. The faction of Damage Control has officially been buried. That's all I gotta say. But this match was good. The bell rings and we are underway. Bianca Belair and Dakota Kai start the match. Bianca throws Dakota across the ring. Bianca goes for a power bomb, but Dakota lands on her feet. Bianca with a drop kick. Dakota in between both rings as she hangs Bianca up on the top rope. Bianca gets up and waist lock takedown. She throws Dakota in the corner and a shoulder tackle by Bianca takes Dakota out. Bianca lifts Dakota up and tries to throw her onto the cage, but Dakota lands on her feet. A tug of war using Bianca's hair, but Dakota with a kick. Dakota runs to the ropes and Bianca with a backbreaker. Bianca rolls to the side of the ring, but Dakota with a kick to the face. Bianca in between the rings as Dakota kicks her in the other ring. Dakota throws Bianca in the corner and Bianca kicks her away. Bianca on the ring apron in a right hand. She gets back in the ring and Bianca with a vertical suplex, right hands by both women. Bianca tries to use her hair as a weapon, but Dakota with a scorpion kick. She runs towards Bianca, but Bianca lifts her up and drops her face first onto the mat. She throws Dakota into the cage. Io Sky enters the match. A drop kick by Io Sky onto Bianca. Io Sky on the top rope as she jumps and hits Bianca with the Hurricanrana. Bianca in between the two rings, and Io Sky in one right and Dakota on the other. Bianca with right hands, a crossbody by Io Sky onto Bianca, and Bianca falls back into the ring. Forearms and right hands by Io Sky and Dakota. Io Sky with a double knees. They go for a double suplex, but Bianca with a double suplex. Io Sky jumps off the top rope onto the second top rope in the other ring and a drop kick onto Bianca. Alexa Bliss enters. She runs into the ring and a German suplex onto Dakota Kai. Both women right hands. An arm drag by Io Sky, but Asuka backs up and Io Sky with a knee to the body. She runs into the ropes and Asuka with the hip attack. Asuka with kicks and right hands. Asuka with a running knee to the face. Asuka climbs to the top rope, but Kai on the top rope in the other ring, and Asuka with a kick. Bianca with the gorilla press as she lifts Dakota and throws her onto the cage. Asuka with a drop kick onto Sky. Asuka with right hands on Dakota, but Dakota with right hands. Nikki Cross enters the match. Nikki Cross runs to the ring and throws candlesticks and garbage cans into the ring. Asuka approaches the door and Nikki slams the door into Asuka's face. Nikki hits Bianca across the back with his Bianca Belair across the back with a garbage can lid. Nikki crossed with a tornado DDT onto Bianca off the second rope. Nikki Cross lifts Asuka up and slams her onto the mat. Nikki Cross hits Bianca and Nikki Cross with her jacket. Nikki Cross with a crossface onto Bianca using the candlestick. Io Sky stomps on Bianca in the corner. So Alexa Bliss enters the match. Alexa Bliss with a drop kick onto Nikki Cross. A right hand by Alexa Bliss onto Io Sky as Asuka hits Io Sky with a bulldog onto a trash can lid. A hurricane by Alexa Bliss onto Dakota Kai in the ring. Nikki Cross with right hands onto Alexa Bliss. Bianca Belair breaks a candlestick across her knees as she looks at Nikki Cross, who starts to climb the cage. Bianca Belair starts to follow her, but Dakota and Io Sky hit her with candlesticks. Across, Nikki Cross sits at the top of the cage. Asuka and Alexa hit Dakota Kai and Io Sky with the candlesticks. Nikki Cross standing at the top of the cage as she jumps off with a crossbody over everyone. Bayley enters. Um, Bayley grabs two ladders and a table into the ring. Bayley sunset flips Bianca into the corner. Bayley and Dakota Kai sets up a table in between the rings and push into Bianca Belair. Damage control and control of the match. Bayley with a snap suplex onto Asuka. Dakota Kai with a double storm onto Asuka. Mia Yim enters the match. She throws garbage cans into the ring. She throws garbage cans onto damage control, and Mia Yim throws Dakota into the cage. Cross jump onto Mia Yim's back, but Mia Yim throws her down. Mia Yim with a suicide dive for one ring to another onto Bayley. Dakota Kai and Mia Yim are each on a top rope with a right hands. Bianca Belair and Bayley are on the two separate top ropes. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross on the top rope. Bayley with a suplex onto Bianca. Mia Yim with a suplex onto Dakota Kai. Nikki Cross with a suplex onto Alexa Bliss. So Rhea Ripley enters the match. Rhea Ripley with right hands on Bianca. Alexa on the top rope and a right hand by Rhea. A German suplex onto Bianca. Alexa goes for a crossbody, but Rhea catches her and hits her with a vertical suplex. A table is set up in one of the ring. Damage control, Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley are controlling the match. Mia trips Rhea up and slams her into the corner. She throws a garbage can onto Rhea in the corner. Mia goes for a suicide dive, but Bayley catches her, and Dakota hits her with a trash can. Becky Lynch enters the match. The bell rings and the match starts. Becky Lynch with the kennels with I'm sorry. The bell rings and the match starts. Becky with a kick onto Sky. Becky with kicks onto Cross and Dakota. Becky slams Sky face first onto a ladder. Nikki Cross with a garbage can as Becky moves out of the way and Nikki hits Sky with it. Becky throws Nikki into a trash can. Becky and Bayley are face to face in the ring in one of the rings. Both women with right hands. Becky with an uppercut. She stomps on Bayley. Becky um um who is it? Alexa and Becky are face to face. Rhea with a headbutt. Rhea and Becky Lynch are face to face. To first, Rhea with a headbutt, she goes for the riptide, but Becky lands on her feet. Bayley grabs Becky and Rhea hits her with the riptide. She goes for the cover, but Asuka breaks it up. Asuka with a poison mist onto Rhea. Bayley with a right hand onto Asuka. Bayley slams Asuka face first onto the turnbuckle. An uppercut by Bayley onto Becky. She gets Becky in a trio woe. Bayley stomps onto Becky. Both women in between the ring. Bayley with the rose plant onto the steel between the rings. She goes for the cover, but Asuka breaks it up. Sky climbs to the top rope. but as does Asuka, who gets her in a race lock on the top rope. Dakota and Asuka with a trash can. Dakota and Bailey climb the top rope. Miriam and Alexa with right hands onto Bailey and Dakota. They climb the second rope. Bianca grabs Bailey, but Nikki Cross hits her with a kendo stick. She slams Alexa face first onto the cage. Asuka and Dakota fall off the top rope. Bianca powerbombs Bailey as Bailey holds her neck. Sky on the top of the cage. She lands a moonsault onto Bianca and Miriam. Bianca holds her leg. Cross gets one of the handcuffs onto Alexa's hand. A right hand by Alexa, but Cross onto the second rope. Hand, Alexa handcuffs herself to Cross. Alexa gets Nikki Cross on her shoulder and slams her onto the mat. Alexa Bliss falls onto the trash can as she is falling. Asuka with a double knees onto Rhea. Asuka goes for the hip attack, but Rhea catches her and throws her onto the cage. Miriam with right hands onto Rhea. She gets Rhea into a sleeper. Rhea Ripley slams Miriam on into one of the ladders, which was set up in one of the corners. Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair are face to face with Damage Control. All five women fight in the ring. Bianca throws Belair onto one of the trash cans. Bailey goes for uh, Belair goes for the kiss of death onto Dakota, but Dakota lands on her feet and Becky with the manhandle slam. She goes for the manhandle slam onto Sky, but Sky lands on her feet and Bianca hits her with the kiss of death. Bianca Belair placed Sky and Dakota on the table as Becky Lynch climbs the cage. Bianca Bianca hits Bailey with the kiss of death onto the cage. Becky with a leg drop off the top rope onto Dakota and Io Sky. She goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, Team Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Miriam, and Becky Lynch. This was a good match, but the faction of Damage Control is officially buried. That's all I gotta say. Bailey, ever since Bailey came back to SummerSlam, Bailey has not done nothing. That's all I gotta say. It's nothing but facts. All right, let's move on. Roman Reigns is sitting backstage with Paul Heyman. In comes Jay, who tells him from day one, as soon as they started to hang out with Sami Zayn, they couldn't trust him. Jay says Sami is the reason why he lost last night. He saw him and Kevin Owens talking out of the locker room, and Sami lied to his face. The only reason he didn't get him is because Roman Reigns didn't give the word. He asks Roman what they are going to do about it as Roman laughs and says what they are going to do. He tells Jay what he is going to do is to be the right hand man, and he is going to be the tribal chief and worry about everything else. Roman Reigns tells Jay he will look into Sami Zayn's eyes and he will know if he is telling the truth. He knows where his loyalty is and to focus on tonight. So Jay walks away as Roman tells Heyman to get Sami Zayn. Heyman grabs his phone and tells it to Sami Zayn. So we get Finn Balor, accompanied by Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio versus Dominic, accompanied by with the OC. This match was boring. The bell rings and we are underway. A race lock by AJ Styles, but Finn Balor gets out of it. AJ Styles with a kick onto Balor's hamstring. AJ Styles with a backbreaker. He lifts Balor up and slams Balor's leg onto his knees. A right hand by AJ Styles as he slams Balor face first into the top turnbuckle. Balor rolls AJ up with kicks him in the face. Finn Balor jumps onto AJ Styles right hands. He throws AJ Styles in the corner and a chop to the chest. Finn Balor with a backbreaker. He goes for the cover, but AJ Styles kicks out. He throws AJ Styles on a top rope and Balor with a drop kick. He goes for the cover, but AJ Styles kicks out. Balor with an ambitional stretch. Right hands by Balor onto AJ's kidneys. He throws AJ Styles into the ropes, but AJ Styles with their right hands. He throws Balor to the ropes and goes for a hip toss, but Balor with an ambitional stretch. AJ Styles with a hip toss, followed by a snap mirror. AJ Styles with a running forearm. AJ Styles goes for the Styles Clash, but Finn Balor gets out of it. AJ Styles on the ring apron, but Finn Balor with the knees to the face. But he goes for another kick, but AJ Styles trips him up on the second rope. Damian Priest is on the ring as he distracts the referee, and Dominic traps AJ Styles up. Dominic gets surrounded by Anderson and Gallows as they hit him with their right hands. All four men fight on the outside of the ring. Gallows throws Damian Priest into the crowd as the two fight. Dominic throws Anderson over the barricade. AJ Styles throws Dominic over the barricade. AJ Styles get back in the ring and he lifts Balor up, but Balor rolls AJ Styles up, but AJ kicks out. Balor to the ropes in a sling blade. Balor goes for a drop kick, but AJ Styles with a right hand. AJ Styles with a suplex into the corner. He goes for the cover, but Finn Balor kicks out. AJ Styles goes for the calf crusher, but Finn Balor gets out of it and he stomps onto AJ. A kick to the face by Balor, but AJ Styles doesn't feel it. AJ with the right hand and kicks onto Balor. He lifts Balor up, but Balor lands on his feet and he slams AJ Styles onto the mat. He goes for the cover, but AJ Styles kicks out. Finn Balor for the Styles Clash, but AJ grabs Finn Balor's leg, but Balor kicks him away. AJ with an overhead kick and Balor on his feet, and he hits AJ Styles with an overhead kick. With the overhead kick, Balor with a chop to the chest. AJ Styles throws Finn Balor into the corner and he tells him with a clothesline. AJ on the ring apron, he jumps, but Balor gets him on his shoulders and he hits AJ Styles with the double knees. He goes for the cover, but AJ Styles kicks out. Balor lifts AJ Styles up, but AJ lands on his feet. An elbow to the face, but AJ onto Finn Balor. AJ climbs the second rope. Rope jumps and he slams Balor onto the mat. He goes for the cover, but Balor kicks out. AJ climbs to the top rope. He goes for the coup de grace, but Balor moves out of the way, and AJ lands on his feet. Balor with a drop kick. Balor climbs the top rope. He goes for the coup de grace, but AJ moves out of the way. The way out of the way. And Balor lands on his feet. AJ with the calf crusher. Balor slams AJ slams AJ's head into the mat. Both men are there feet, both men on their feet. Balor with the right hands, AJ with the right hands. AJ with the kick to the side of the head. He runs towards Balor, but Balor throws him onto the right apron. A forearm by AJ Styles. He jumps. He jumps off the top rope and AJ Styles with the phenomenal forearm. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, AJ Styles. This match was boring. WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. Ronda Rousey, accompanied by Shayna Baszler versus Shotzi. This match was terrible. The bell rings. We are underway. Right hands by Shotzi, but Ronda with the hip toss. Ronda with the ankle lock, but Shotzi gets out of it. Shotzi with the knee to the face, and Ronda to the outside of the ring. Shotzi with a suicide dive, but Shayna moves Ronda out of the way and hits a suicide dive onto Shayna. Shotzi throws Ronda into the ring steps. Shotzi with forearms. Shayna on the ring apron. And Shotzi kicks her down. Shotzi with a clothesline onto Ronda Rousey. Shotzi climbs the top rope. She goes for a crossbody, but Ronda Rousey reverses it and slams Shotzi onto the mat. Ronda Rousey kicks Shotzi's arm. Ronda Rousey goes for a kick, but Shotzi catches her leg and trips her up. Shotzi goes for a drop kick, goes for a leg drop, but Ronda Rousey fetches her. Ronda with an ankle lock, but Shotzi with one leg hits her feet and kicks Ronda in the back of the neck. Ronda Rousey grabs Shotzi and gets her in a modified headlock. Shotzi gets out of it, but Ronda with a kick onto Shotzi followed by a right hand. Ronda places Shotzi on the second rope and goes for a kick, but Shotzi moves out of the way, and Shotzi with a right hand. Ronda on the ring apron as Shotzi climbs the second rope. She goes for a DDT on the ring apron but does not properly land it, and Shotzi falls to the ring, to outside of the ring, and Ronda on the mat. Shayna goes for a right hand on Shotzi, but Shotzi slams her onto the floor. Shotzi throws Ronda over the barricade. Shayna runs towards Shotzi, but Shotzi throws her over the barricade. Shotzi climbs the barricade and jumps off with a crossbody onto Ronda and Shayna, who fall onto a set of fans at ringside. Shotzi throws Ronda over the barricade and into the ring. Shotzi climbs the second rope, but as does Ronda. She hits Shotzi with a right hand and hip toss off the top rope. She goes for the cover, but Shotzi kicks out. Ronda Rousey lifts Shotzi on her shoulders and hits her with the Harper's Pit. Ronda Rousey with the armbar as Shotzi taps out. The winner and still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. Alright, terrible match. Roman Reigns is sitting down with Paul Heyman, and in comes Sami. Roman Reigns asks if he's spoken to Kevin Owens on SmackDown. Sami Zayn nodded his head and says that he did speak with him. Roman Reigns asks him why he lied to Jay. Sami Zayn tells him that he lied to Jay because he had a huge match. The advantage for War Games match was on the line. He didn't want to put that on his plate. He already has problems trusting him, and he doesn't want to put in on his plate before he went out to the match. And Kevin Owens spoke into him. He didn't talk. Kevin Owens spoke. He spoke. He listened, and he left Roman Reigns ask what he said. Sami Zayn tells him that Kevin Owens said that he should turn on the Bloodline before the Bloodline turns on him. Roman Reigns said Kevin Owens is or he was his friend. He gets that. He gets that, but he needs him to understand that this is his family. This is his blood, and he needs Sammy to look him in the eyes, and he needs to know if he's with them or if he's going to stab them in the back out there. Out there. Sami Zayn looks him in the eyes and says he's with him. He's with them. Sami Zayn says there are 5 people on the whole planet that are allowed to walk in this room. The Wiseman, the Uso Solo, and himself. Sami Zayn says that's not lost on him. That means the world to win, the world to him. All right, Sami Zayn says Roman took him in as a member of his family. He won't let him down tonight. He won't let him down. Anyway, any night he is with the Bloodline. Roman Reigns stares at Sami Zayn and stands up and tells him Sami Zayn to get up. Roman Reigns smiles and tells him to let's do it, and they hug. The camera shows Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns doesn't seem to believe him. So we get the United States Championship Triple Threat match. Alright, no, we get the WWE United States Championship Triple Threat match. Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley versus Theory. This was a good match. But what was the point about Theory cashing in on the mid card on the United States Championship on Seth Rollins, knowing that Austin Theory is going to win tonight? How am I supposed to take Austin Theory seriously? That's what Showstopper TV mentioned. And Showstopper TV shouts to you for mentioning that. He speak nothing but facts. But this match was good. Alright, but this make Bobby Lashley look stupid right here. Anyway, the bell rings and we are underway. Lashley throws Theory to the outside of the ring. Theory gets back on the ring apron and Seth Rollins with their right hand. And Theory to the outside of the ring. Lashley throws Seth in the corner and spears him. A neck breaker by Lashley. He lifts Seth up, but Seth lands on his feet. Seth Rollins with chops to the chest. He runs towards Lashley, but Lashley throws him into the ring apron. Theory grabs Seth and throws him off the ring apron. He throws Seth into the barricade. Lashley chases Theory around the ring, and Theory gets back into the ring. Right hand spot Theory, and he stomps on Lashley. He grabs Lashley. He grabs Lashley, but Lashley with the vertical suplex. Rollins jumps off the top rope, but Lashley catches him and throws him across the ring. A back elbow by Bobby onto Theory. Lashley grabs both Theory and Seth Rollins and hits them with a double DDT. Lashley lifts Theory up and Seth gets to his feet. Lashley knocks Seth down using Theory. Bobby Lashley with the gut wrench suplex onto Seth. He goes for the cover, but Theory drags the referee to the outside of the ring. Bobby to the outside of the ring as he chases Theory. He throws Theory over the barricade into the timekeeper's area. Theory grabs a chair and tries to hit Lashley with it, but Bobby throws the chair away. He throws Theory over the barricade. Seth with a flying knee into Lashley off the ring apron. Seth Rollins throws Bobby onto the ring steps. Theory with punches onto Seth. Theory grabs the steel steps and he hits Lashley with them. He hits Seth with the steps. Theory throws Seth back into the ring. He goes for the cover, but Seth kicks out. Theory with a kick onto Seth. Theory back to the outside of the ring. As he slams Bobby's face first onto the announcer table and he throws him into the barricade. Theory gets back into the ring as Seth rolls him up, but Theory kicks out. Seth with right hands and chops to the chest. Seth runs to the ropes and a sling blade by Rollins, followed by a super kick. Theory falls to the outside of the ring. Seth runs to the ropes and a suicide dive onto Lashley onto the outside of the ring. Seth back in the ring and a suicide dive onto Theory. Seth back in the ring and another suicide dive onto Lashley. Seth back in the ring and as is Theory he throws Theory to the outside of the ring. Seth runs and jumps over the top rope onto Lashley and Theory. Seth back in the ring and Theory on the ring apron. Theory rolls into the ring and Seth with a powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Theory kicks out. Seth goes for the stomp, but Lashley moves Theory out of the way. Lashley lifts Seth up and slams him onto the mat. Lashley with the hurt lock on Seth. Theory jumps on Lashley and gets him in a sleeper hold with the hurt lock still on Seth. As Seth falls to the mat, Lashley throws Theory onto the outside of the ring. Seth with the pedigree onto Lashley. I hate when Seth Rollins hit the pedigree. Seth Rollins needs to stick with the song finisher by hitting a curve stomp. I hate when Seth Rollins hits the pedigree. He needs to stick with the curve stomp, and that's it. And that's facts. Anyway, he goes for the cover, but Lashley kicks out. Seth climbs to the top rope. He jumps as Lashley moves out of the way, but Seth lands on his feet. Theory throws Seth to the outside of the ring. Theory with a rolling blockbuster. Theory goes for the A-Town down, but Lashley lands on his feet. Lashley with the hurt lock, but Theory jumps off the second rope and rolls Lashley up for the cover. Seth with a splash onto Lashley. He goes for the cover, but Lashley kicks out. Seth with a right hand onto Theory. He goes for the neckbreaker, but Theory gets out of it. Theory goes for a pedigree, but Seth Rollins gets him on his shoulders. Theory lands on his feet as Lashley grabs Theory and Seth and gets them in a hurt lock. Lashley crushes into the corner. Seth with a super kick onto Lashley. Um, Seth with a right hand to Theory's neck. Seth goes for the stomp as he runs off. As he runs, jumps off Theory and stomps Lashley. He throws Theory on her apron to the ring apron, but Theory with a right hand. Theory climbs the top rope, but Seth Rollins climbs to the top rope and a superplex by Seth. He goes for the Falcon Arrow, but Lashley spares Seth as Theory lands on the top of Seth Rollins. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner and your new WWE United States Champion, Austin Theory. The match itself was good, but how come? How am I supposed to take Theory seriously when when Theory cashed in his money in the bank on Seth Rollins and lost to Seth Rollins for United States Champion. But what was the point about Theory winning the United States Championship anyway? If I was Austin Theory, I would have cashed in my money in the bank on Roman Reigns or Braun Breaker at NXT and Halloween Havoc. That's just my opinion. You know that's facts. But the winner and your new United States Champion, Austin Theory, wish this match was good. A good triple threat match for United States Champion. Let's move on. Roman Reigns is backstage with Jay. He asks Roman if Sami Zayn lied to him too. Roman tells him he looked at Sami Zayn and he saw everything he needed to see. So we get the main event of the evening, the Men's War Games match. The Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Rich Hollins, and Butch, and Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, the Usos, Jay Uso, and Jimmy Uso, accompanied by Paul Heyman. This was a good main event. This was a good match. Butch and Jay Uso start the match. Each one of them is in the ring. Both men are face to face. Jay gets in the second ring and Butch with their right hands. He throws Jay to the ropes and Butch with a clothesline. Butch with an armbar and he twists Jay's fingers. Butch stomps on Jay's hand. Butch twists Jay's fingers in between the cage fence. Butch kicks Jay's fingers into the cage. He grabs Jay, but Jay throws Butch into the cage. A right hand by Jay and a neck breaker onto Butch. Jay slams Butch's left arm into his knees. Jay throws Butch into the cage. Both men in between the two rings. Butch twists Jay's arm and stomps on Jay's hand. Butch with a modified armbar, but Jay slams him into the mat. Rich Hollins enters the match. Rich Hollins with shoulder tackles onto Jay. He grabs Jay, but Jay with a super kick, followed by an uppercut. Jay with a kick as he runs to the ropes. But Rich Hollins slams Jay Uso onto the mat. Rich Hollins with a splash in the corner. Butch with a right hand onto Jay. Hollins with a headbutt. Jay gets up as Butch kicks Jay Uso and Hollins clotheslines him down. Clotheslines him. Rich Hollins and Butch stomps on Jay's arms. Jimmy Uso is about to enter the match, but Roman tells him no, and he tells Sami Zayn to go in the ring. Sami Zayn enters the match. Sami Zayn stands around the ring as Rich Hollins and Butch stands in front of the cage door. Jay throws Butch into the cage. Sami Zayn gets in the ring as Rich Hollins throws Jay in the other ring. Sami Zayn throws Rich Hollins over the top rope in between both rings. Rich Hollins in the ring in the corner. Right hands by Sami Zayn, but Rich Hollins with a right hand. Jay grabs Hollins and Sami Zayn with a right hand and to Hollins. Sami Zayn tries Jay on the shoulders as Jay tells him not to tap tap him. They argue as Butch with a moonsault off the cage onto Sami Zayn and Jay. Hollins lifts them both up and drops them onto the mat. Hollins throws Jay to the other ring. Jay in between the ropes, the cage. Um, Rich Hollins goes for a splash, but Jay moves out of the way. Sami Zayn in between the ring as Butch throws him in the ring. Jay with a right hand onto Butch as he throws Butch into the cage. So Drew McIntyre enters the match. Drew gets in the ring and a clothesline onto Sami Zayn. He throws Jay into the cage. Drew with the belt to belly onto Sami Zayn. Drew with a spine buster onto Jay. Drew plays Jay on the top rope. Drew goes for a superplex, but Sami Zayn trips Drew up. Hollins throws Sami Zayn into the cage. Drew with a trio roll. Butch climbs the top rope, but he is knocked down. Drew back up and he throws Jay off the top rope. Drew with the future shock DT onto Sami Zayn. Okay. So Jimmy enters the match. Jimmy throws 3 tables onto the ring. Sami Zayn tries to set up the table, but Jay pushes him away. Jay tries to set the table, but Sami Zayn stops him. Sami Zayn and Jay pushes each other as Jimmy tries to break it up. They stomp on Bush and Hollins. They throw Bush into the ring to the other ring. Jimmy tells Jay to go to the other ring. They throw Drew into the cage. Jimmy throws Butch onto the cage. Sami Zayn and Jay set a table up in the corner. Sami Zayn grabs Drew, but Drew with a Glasgow kiss onto Sami Zayn and Jimmy. Kevin Owens enters the match. Kevin Owens throws 2 chairs into the ring. He grabs a chair and hits Jay with it. He hits Jimmy with it. Kevin Owens with a cannonball onto Jay in the corner. Kevin Owens with a swanton off the top rope. He throws a chair onto Jimmy. Kevin Owens throws a chair onto Jay. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are face to face in the ring. Rich Hollins grabs Sami Zayn a right hand onto Sami. Jay with a chair across the back of Kevin Owens. Jimmy with a right hand onto Kevin Owens. Drew suplexes Sami. Kevin Owens throws Jimmy through a table. Solo Sequoia enters the match. Solo with a clothesline on Bush. Solo with a Samoan drop onto Holland. So Kevin Owens and Solo are in between both rings, and Kevin Owens throws Solo into the cage. A super kick by Kevin Owens. He goes for a powerbomb, but Solo with a backdrop. Drew and Solo right hands. Drew with a big boot, but Solo with a super kick. Solo runs towards Drew, but Drew with a flying headbutt. Sheamus enters the match. Sami Zayn tries to close the door and Sheamus tries to open it. Sheamus gets on the ring steps and slams the door face first onto Sami Zayn. Sheamus gets in the ring and he clotheslines the Usos. Sami Zayn, I'm sorry, Sheamus with a clothesline onto Sami Zayn. Sheamus with a backbreaker onto Jay. Sheamus climbs the top rope and he clotheslines the Usos. Sheamus throws Jimmy into the cage. Sheamus throws Sami Zayn into the cage. The Brawler Brutes with right hands onto the Usos and Sami Zayn. Drew with a right hands onto Solo. Sheamus with a right hand onto Solo. Sheamus lifts Solo up and up on his shoulders and he climbs the second rope and he hits him with the white noise. Roman Reigns enters the match. The bell rings and the match starts. Each team is in a ring. The Brawling Bruce, Kevin Owens, and Drew McIntyre enter the other ring and all 10-man fight. Roman Reigns with the uppercut on Sheamus, Drew, Ridge, Butch, and Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns with a Superman punch onto Sheamus. Roman Reigns goes for a spear on Sheamus, but Sheamus hits him with a kick. He throws Roman over the top rope. in between the rings. The Brawler Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, and with a 10 beats of the bottom and onto the Bloodline. Drew and Sheamus with the right hands on Roman. Sheamus with a knee to the face. Sheamus with the bro kick onto Solo. Roman with a spear onto Sheamus. He goes for the cover, but Bush breaks it up. Sami Zayn with right hands onto Butch. Jay goes for a super kick onto Butch, but Butch ducks and Jay hits Sami Zayn. Butch on the top rope and a right hand, by Jay. He climbs the second rope and throws the Usos with the 1D on Butch. Jimmy goes for the cover, but Hollins breaks it up. The Usos with a double super kick onto Hollins and Roman Reigns spears Hollins through a table. Drew throws Roman into the other ring. Drew goes for a powerbomb, but Solo with a super kick onto Drew. Solo with a spinning solo onto Drew through a table. Kevin Owens with the starter onto Solo. He goes for the cover, but Roman breaks it up. Kevin Owens slaps Roman in the face, and both men with right hands. Roman Reigns goes for the Superman punch. Kevin Owens ducks, he goes for the stunner, but Roman Reigns moves out of the way, and he hits him with a Superman punch. He goes for a spear, but Kevin Owens with a super kick. Kevin Owens with a pop-up powerbomb. He goes for the cover, but Sami Zayn holds the referee's arms. Kevin Owens looks at Sami Zayn, and both men are face to face. Jimmy goes for a super kick on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens grabs Jimmy's leg and Sami Zayn with a low blow on Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn not happy about it. Sami Zayn's look at Roman Reigns as Roman Reigns nods his head. Sami Zayn with the haluva kick onto Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn tells Jay to pin him. Jay climbs to the top rope and he hits Kevin Owens with the Uso splash. He goes for the cover and gets the pin. The winner of the match, the Bloodline. Roman Reigns extends his arms as he and Sami Zayn hug. Jay hugs Sami Zayn as they celebrate. And WWE Survivor Series War Games goes off the air. But like I said it earlier, WWE Survivor Series War Games was an A show, and I give it a 7 out of 10. The highlight of the night when Jey Uso was hugging Sami Zayn. That was a highlight of the night, and the crowd went absolutely crazy. And that was some good storytelling right there. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE Survivor Series War Games review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on WWE Survivor Series War Games. It was an A show, and I give it a 7 out of 10. Um, like Showstopper TV said, the Royal Rumble pay per view is coming. Raw and SmackDown Royal Rumble is going to be boring because it books itself, and that's all I got to say from here. But anyway, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications when I premiere. But when I premiere a brand new video at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, or when I go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will go live on YouTube tomorrow, this Sunday. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys when I go live on YouTube tomorrow. And that's all I got to say from here. This your boy, Big Boy Fashion on TV. Have a great weekend. Stay safe and always stay positive. And shout outs to Showstopper TV once again for streaming on YouTube and Twitch. And that's all I got to say from here. But anyway, this your boy, Big Boy Fashion on TV. Kept your crew, kept your kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.